Today in this video, we are going to rank the hero pairings for Call of Dragons. This video is going to help you kind of understand what pairings you need to use in the battlefield of Call of Dragons. Now, if you guys like tips for Call of Dragons, consider subscribing to the channel and smack like onto this video if you find this helpful. And another thing, if you guys want to reach out to me, you guys can of course DM me, but it would really be more helpful if you guys communicate with me through the comment section, because it does help us out as a content creator whenever you guys interact with us within the video, and I will do my best, of course, to reply to these messages that you guys leave in the comment section. So let's go into the tier maker in here. So let's take a quick look here into the tier list that we have made. We're going to rank this based on my observation, what I see in the battlefield and what I've experienced and what I use. So if you have a different of opinion, please make sure to comment below and give us detail, or maybe you can actually type down in the comment section your pairing, or maybe your best pairing that you have within your account. So everybody will have differences of pairing. Maybe you're not a spender into the game, so your best pairing will be legendary mixed with an epic, and that is totally fine. So I'm going to pair the best pair that I use in the field, which is going to be Lilia with Velin. This is, I think, my ultimate best pair that I really love using within Call of Dragons, and I believe many can agree that many players also use this approach. Now, next one that I'm going to put in here is the marksman. This is also widely used in the battlefield, so we're going to use the marksman, which is Nico, and we're going to pair it up with Kinara. That's another great combo to use in the open field. And what's nice about this is that Nico is a hero that can be obtained through the gold chest. So this is, free-to-play players can definitely work on and max Nico out. So the next one that I will do is a cavalry that I'm going to put in the number one pairing in here, will be, of course, the Bakshi and Emery's. So that's another combination that you can do. Now, with the Nico and Kinara, we can actually flip it just to give you guys a better understanding in here. You may want to do a Nico secondary rather and have a Kinara primary within the battlefield in here using the talent tree of control, because Nico doesn't have that. Now, I think this is my top A pairing list in here. Now, you will maybe have a differences of opinion in here. I am not going to rank infantry in the number one pairing, because I think with the merits that you get to obtain, and infantry are mostly tank based, so I'm not going to put it into the pairing number one, but we'll put it in pairing number two. But let's kind of look into pairing number one first. So as you see, there is Lilia and Velin. Now, looking into the pairings, right, we have Lilia and Velin. Now, players can vary depending on what style and approach they want to go. If they want to go pure damage, you're going to stick with magic and skills. This is the best damage output that you can do with this combination. But there are also players that will like the control ability of Velin, because with the control ability, you can steal enemies' rage, or you can slow down the enemy with control effect. So this is something that really is very different playing style for different roles. For my role, I like the DPS approach, which is I go for Lilia as a primary. So if you want to play a slight bit of a support within the game, then you will be leading with Velin. But these both combinations work really, really well. Now, the next combination that I have mentioned is working on Nico, and the next one will be Kinara. Now, I think Nico and Kinara is a better approach than going for a Syndrion. First of all, Nico can be obtained within the gold chest, and I believe, right, Kinara can be obtained through the Wheel of Fortune. These are accessible easily by free-to-play players. Now, it really depends on your approach, again, whether you want to go for more high DPS using precision with Nico, or you want to have that control effect, then you will lead with Kinara. So different players will have a different approach and different strategy. I don't think there is anything wrong with, you know, using any of these heroes to lead. Now, the next thing will be Bakshi and Emery's. Now, again, different roles when you do primary. So if you want DPS, you go for Bakshi. Let's say if I'm going to be rallying, I'm going to be using Bakshi as the main hero, as the commander. I'm not using Emery. Emery is going to be a deputy. Now, if I am going to be hunting for farmers, then I will use Emery's in here, because then I will be utilizing the mobility of my hero. But either way, you can never go wrong with these two, regardless of whichever leads. Just different situation. But the skills of these heroes are tremendously wonderful and is really, really good. So this is my recommendation for you guys in the pairing number 1, which is going to be mainly legendaries in here. Sorry for the free to play, but this is the realistic part of the game. Now let's build on to pairing number 2. Pairing number 2, I'm going to put tank. So sorry for the infantry. I have low ranks for the infantry because most of the time infantry, when you just charge in, your role is to just absorb damage within the game. So we're going to put like Madeline, which is, you know, has a good counterattack damage. I actually have 2 Madeline, which is kind of weird. We'll just put that one here in the bottom. And then we're going to put, and then next one, we're going to put Nika over here. All right. So the next one that I will put as well, that I think that is also decent combination to do, is using a flying unit, which is Freygar, and then this lady, Thea. This is another great pairing. I use this for my Eagles, or you can use this for Celestials, and definitely works really well for the Marksmen, for the Wyvern Riders. All right? So it really depends, again, what faction that you're using plays a major role as well within the game. Now, as you can see, Syngeron is kind of lonely in here, right? So I'm going to put Syngeron into pairing number 2, because it depends on what investment that you work on. You can technically use like a Syngeron and Nico, Syngeron and Kinara, or maybe a Syngeron and Freygar. It really depends, but I don't think Syngeron is bad enough to be in third list in here. So it really depends on what situations that you're going to be doing, all right? Now, let's move into pairing number 3. We're going to put Garwood and Eliana. We've heard this a lot, the mention of Eligar. So that is also a great tank, really good for merit trading as well, by the way. And then we're going to put Waldir, and we'll just put Alwyn in here. So here's also a breakdown that you can do, something that I do within my account. So within my account, I have this approach to where when I deploy, let's go to create, and number 5, I actually have a Valine and Waldir, and then with my Lilia, I do a Lilia and Alwyn. So that is also a different approach that you can do. So you can do a, you know, Lilia and Waldir, and then Lilia and or Alwyn, or you can do Valine with that. Now, when you do these type of combination with mixing with epics, now this will not be ranked as a number 1 pair. It will definitely go down its rank, because now you're mixing legendary and epic. The output there will be much lower. All right. Now, another thing that I will put in here is Guanwin, and we're going to put Craig as well. I used this in season 1 a lot, although this is a glass cannon. It dies pretty quick. Craig doesn't really have a lot of capability of absorbing. I'll put Guanwin as a primary in here. But yeah, this is also a good setup to use within the game. And then we can do Haas is also not bad. So you can definitely pair anybody with Haas. This is something that you can do. Then we got some of our farmers, which we're just going to put the farmers here in the bottom. All right, we're going to put Pan there. Why do I have multiples in here? All right, and then we're going to put Indis. Indis is decent. You can use Indis to pair with anybody in here to provide some healing. But for the most part, you know, it is a farmer. All right, then we can put Bakar. You can put Bakar Eliana, Bakar Garwood. So we'll put this over here on the side. And then we got Alistair, which we're also going to put in pairing number 3, which you can pair with nobody really, because we've already used up any potential calves in here. So there's really not a whole lot of option for Alistair. So I'm going to put Alistair in pairing number 4, but you can move it up and pair it up with Bakshi or pair it up with Emrys. Now, with Atheist in here, this is another one that I'm going to, we're just going to move it into pairing number, kind of hard now, right? This is a flying unit. We can also put it in pairing number 3, because when you do a pairing with this one, you will most likely do a Thea, so it will bring down the rank in here when you do a Thea and Atheist. So that is something to kind of understand, right? When you do the pairing with the legendary and the epic, it will drop down the rank in here. Now, Alistair is decent, but really, there's really no good epic to pair Alistair with. You can do an Alistair Eliana as well. That is also something that you can do if you want to move it up and bump it up into the higher rank in here. But for the most part, what I've seen players do is they will pair it up with Alistair with either Bakshi. For the most part, I think I've seen Alistair with Emrys in here. So that is my, official tier list in here for pairing. And I'm sure we're going to have differences of opinion. I kind of want to know what your thought process is on this pairing. I kind of rank this to where like the open field capability. So you can see in the pairing number 1, these are the good open field marches to use. These are the optimal prime usage. And then you can see the calves there because they are also able to hunt for farmers, right? Now when we think about Roots of War, then to rally, the calves are the best, of course. And then we also have these magic unit that will be good in the field and the marksmen that will be good in the field. Now, the calves also are able to defend as well, which I've mentioned in my previous videos about how cavalries are. Another thing is that to understand that infantries may be, crucial to the role of pushing within the game in the open field. But at the end of the day, these infantries, they are not, I'm going to tell you, they're not something that can, last long into the battlefield, because they are targeted early, eliminated early, and most of the time you don't get a lot of merits by using infantry, but your role there is tank, which provides a significant role, but it's not the most optimal role to think about, like, how can I be the strongest in here? Now, the infantry is really strong in a sense of counterattack damage. Now, when you use defense for infantry, it will provide some greatness as well. So that is something to seriously consider as well with infantry. I don't hate infantry. I love infantry. I think we need a lot of infantry players so that we can make better push within the open field as well. And then pairing number 3, most of this, pretty much within the epics in here. I kind of ranked them pretty evenly in here. I didn't really try to kind of discourage anybody in here within the epics, because they provide a vital role within the game as well, especially when you are starting out. But if we critique this further, I would then say we would bring down the infantries down in here. And then we'll bring Alistair. If I critique this further, I would actually make it in this manner, because these infantry pretty much same role with the infantry within the legendary, and we're putting all the DPS marches onto the top. Now this guy is pretty useful as well, because you can use with your celestials, with your flying unit. Now this I think has some slight purpose. Maybe I will bring it up to 5 instead, because technically you can use in this with other marches in here to provide healing in the open field. It is definitely not a bad hero as well. So we just put it in the 4. Maybe we'll give her a consolation prize in there. Same thing with Pan. You can get some healing, but I would prefer in this, it provides more healing. We'll put Pan in the pairing number 5. Now, keep in mind the difference between in this is that when you max in this out, although it has a lower amount of healing factor comparison to Pan, once you finish this expertise, you will get 450 in comparison to Pan in here. You are going to get only 400 in the awakened or expertise, but here's a key factor in here. While Pan's Legion will also get a healing factor of 200, but within this being a legendary, you also get this target damage taken bonus, which is a huge factor within the game. So with that being said, that is my tier list here for Call of Dragons. I'm really just curious what you guys know. I'm just really curious, what do you guys think about this one now? Critique as much as you can, at least be nice, by the way. I'm just curious also how far this video have reached, so please let me know where you are from. Anyway, I'll see you guys again next time. Thank you for watching and here until the end. Peace out.